So we are doing taxation income from other sources, section 56 to 59. Can you tell me the 5 heads of income that is chargeable to tax?
Income from salary, house property, business profession, other sources, and capital gains.
So there is income from salary, then there is income from business profession, house property, and capital gains. Okay, salary, house property, business profession, and capital gains. So we
Hmm.
have 4 heads of income which are very particular.
Hmm.
That your running salary, you whatever income you get, pay tax. House property, income from house property, pay tax. Income from business, pay tax. Income from capital gains, pay tax. But sometimes some income do not fall into those 4 categories.
Hmm.
Okay, so section 56 to 59 covers those income that do not fall under the 4 categories, which is set as income from other sources. So section
Hmm.
56 to 59 covers that, and anything which do not fall under the 4 heads of income would be computed to tax under the head income from other sources. And for income from other sources, there is a flat rate of taxation that is 30%.
Okay.
So section 56 says that any income which is not taxable under the first 4 heads shall
Hmm.
be taxable under the head IFOS, and those incomes are, okay, so those incomes are normally they are 7 income. First is dividend, second is interest, third is lottery,
Hmm.
crossword, race, gamble. Fourth is if you're giving any plant, machinery, or furniture on rent and you're getting rental income. Fifth is family pension. Sixth is gift. And seventh is any other income that is not covered. My God.
Okay.
So, what are the 7 things that common examples of income from other sources? 7 common things that come
Dividend.
from other sources. So, the 7 common thing that comes from income from other sources is, okay, first is dividend.
Dividend.
Mhm.
Interest.
First is dividend. Second is
Hmm.
interest income. That is interest income on the saving account, fixed deposit account, securities, or debenture. Any interest that you're getting from banks, deposits, securities comes over here. It is calculated income from other sources. Then winnings from lotteries, crosswords, race, gambling, etc. Fourth is rental income from what? Rental income from plant, machinery, furniture. Fifth is family pension. That means if the employee dies, then the family of the employee is going to get some pension. So that money, pension money, in the hands of the receiver becomes income from other sources. Sixth
Hmm.
is gift. Any gift that you receive, and if the value of the gift exceeds 50,000, then anything above 50,000 would be charged to tax under the head income from other sources. And seventh is casual other things. Okay, so what does
Hmm.
section 56 tell you? That any income which is not taxable under the first 4 heads will be taxable under the head income from other sources, and those incomes are first dividend. Okay, so dividend that you receive from where? Dividend that you receive from a domestic company was
Hmm.
initially exempted, now it is chargeable to tax. Dividend that you
Okay.
receive from non-domestic company or a cooperative society is taxable as it is. Are
Hmm.
you with me?
Yes.
Okay. So dividend is taxable. Okay. Then is casual income. Casual income, that means I was talking about winnings from lottery, crossword, race. That is all casual income. So lottery, crossword, puzzle, card games, horse race. Okay. If you win anything from such things, so it is chargeable to tax under the head income from other sources under section 115BB.
Okay.
Which section? 115
115 BB.
BB. In this, you should note that no expense is allowed to be deducted. That means if you won something from the lottery, you would say, I bought the lottery ticket for 5,000. You allowed
Hmm.
to minus the expense of buying the lottery ticket. They say no expense is allowed to be deducted.
Okay.
No exemption from such winning, because we do not want to promote people to go into horse races, gambling, crossword, puzzle, or
Hmm.
anything. Okay, you have to
Hmm.
pay flat tax of 30%.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
third, income by way of interest. Okay, if your business is to have securities, okay, and you are getting interest on these securities, if your business is that to receive interest on securities, you are giving securities and you are receiving interest. If that is your sole business, then such interest on security goes under profits and gains from business profession. Okay.
Okay.
But if it is not your business, that means it's just generally you have invested in some securities and you are receiving interest on securities. This is not your day to day activity. Okay. So if it's
Hmm.
not your day to day activity and you have received interest on these securities, then it is chargeable to tax under the head income from other sources.
BGBPS profit gains.
PGBP, profits and gains from business profession.
Hmm.
What is interest on securities? Actually receiving interest from government securities, debentures,
Hmm.
bonds. Okay, you invest your money in bonds, debentures, and you receive some interest.
Yeah.
So this interest is taxable under the head income from other sources. But
30%.
there are some people who are traders. Their
Hmm.
basic activity is only investing in securities, investing in debentures, investing in bonds. Okay, they are traders.
Hmm.
So for them, this is business profession, income from business and profession.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So
Got it.
interest on securities, if you do not take it as PGBP, you take it as income from other sources.
Hmm.
So what are the things that we learn from income from other sources? Can you please tell me?
That any income under which is not taxable under the first four heads will be taxable under the head income from other sources.
Hmm.
These incomes are dividend, uh, income from securities, debentures, bonds, or lottery, crosswords, races, card games, or rent from plant, machinery, furniture, family pension, and all.
Okay, fine. If you're
What
getting
was the sixth
income
and
from
seventh one? I don't
machinery,
know.
the fourth one. If you're getting
Hmm.
income from machinery, plant, or furniture, that means you're giving it
Hmm.
on rent. Okay.
Hmm.
And you are giving it on rent and you're receiving some income. Okay.
Hmm.
Hmm? Then
Hmm.
this is income from other sources. But you should
Hmm.
remember over here that this is happening sometimes. This is not your
Hmm.
business and profession to give it on rent on
Hmm.
daily basis. If you
Hmm.
give it
Hmm.
on rent regularly, then it
Hmm.
becomes a part of business profession.
Okay.
So if you're giving it hamesha regularly, okay, then
Hmm.
this is your business, then it will not go into other sources.
Okay.
If it's out of the blue that somebody came and asked you for it and you gave it on rent and you receive some income, so where will you, under what head will it be chargeable to tax?
Income from other sources.
Okay. So income from letting out furniture machines.
Hmm.
If you're letting out the furniture and machine along with a building, that means there is a building in that there is furniture and machines along with it, it's going out. So you give a fully furnished house on rent.
Hmm.
So that becomes income from house property. So if it is
Okay.
going along with the house, along with the building, it is IFOS. But if it is
Hmm.
separately, then
Hmm.
it is
That also not on a daily basis.
that also not on a daily basis.
Okay.
Okay. If you receive money, property
Hmm. Hmm.
without any consideration means I have received something from someone, but I have not paid him anything. He's given me free of cost. Without any consideration or inadequate consideration, say a property worth 500,000 is given me for 500 rupees.
Okay.
So inadequate consideration, that means I've received an unreasonable gift,
Hmm.
which is a good huge amount of money or a huge amount of property that I have received without consideration or with inadequate consideration. It is gift income chargeable to tax under the head.
Income from other sources.
Okay, fine. If you have received some compensation, okay, and on that
Hmm.
compensation you receive interest,
Hmm.
or you receive some enhanced compensation. See,
Yes.
compensation is not chargeable to tax, but interest on that
Okay.
compensation or something is enhanced and given to you.
Okay.
So that is chargeable to tax under the head income from other sources. Say
Okay.
there was a blast, some blast, and the government gave compensation to the people. Yeah.
Miss, your voice got cut.
I say for example, there was a blast
Yeah.
and the government gives compensation to the people to compensate for the loss that they have suffered.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they declare a date that on this date you are going to get compensation. So
Hmm.
compensation is not the income for the people.
Hmm.
But suppose if the compensation comes in late to the people, then the government, along with the compensation, is also giving interest on compensation.
Hmm. Hmm.
The
That will
compensation
be.
was for loss, but the interest on compensation or some enhancement in the compensation will be charged to tax.
Okay.
Okay? Under
Hmm.
the head, income from other sources.
Hmm.
Okay, fine. Then share premium in excess of fair market value. This is not a part of your syllabus, but I will tell you. Suppose I
Hmm.
sell shares and the fair market value of shares is rupees 2.
Okay.
I sell those shares for rupees 4. I have a company.
Hmm.
The fair market value of the share is rupees 2. I sell it
Hmm.
for rupees 10.
210.
That means I'm charging 8 rupees extra.
Hmm.
So that 8 rupees extra is premium on the issue of shares.
Yeah.
And this premium on issue of shares will be,
Income from other sources.
this premium on issue of shares will be income from other sources.
Hmm.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Now, interest on bank deposits. You've deposited money in the bank. On that
Hmm.
money, bank has given you interest.
Okay.
Okay. And this interest you get, which is up to 10,000. So that is exempt.
Hmm.
Anything above 10,000 you get will be chargeable to tax under the head income from other sources.
Okay.
Okay. Then there is gifts. I will explain you about gifts and then I will stop. Okay. Till the time you write.
Hmm.
Okay. Gift. Taxability of gift is covered under section 56. Income from other sources, section 56 to 59.
Hmm.
Taxability of gift, section 56, subsection 2, paragraph 10. This is started to be applicable from 1st October 2009.
Hmm.
Before 2009, gift was exempt from tax. You did not have to pay any tax. After
Okay.
2009, gifts are chargeable to tax. So if your assessee is receiving any cash, immovable
Hmm.
property or movable property. Immovable property means house. Movable property would be jewelry, diamond sets. Okay. in the movable property except mobile phones, watches, except for that.
Hmm.
So if the assessee is receiving any money, any house,
Okay.
immovable property, or any
Hmm.
movable property, but please exclude mobile phones and watches, because watches even a boyfriend will give to a girlfriend.
Hmm.
Okay, exclude mobile phone and watches. But if the assessee is receiving money, movable or immovable property, without
Hmm.
any consideration or inadequate consideration,
Okay.
a very less amount of money, okay, then it is considered as gift and it will be charged to tax. But there is a separate provision for everything.
Okay.
If it is cash, so if he is receiving the total amount of cash more than 50,000, then full 50,000 is taxable.
Hmm.
If you receive 49,900, fully exempt.
Okay.
50,100, full 50,100 charged to tax.
Hmm.
That
Okay.
49,100 exempt is also gone. So if anybody is giving you gift, either take 49,999, but do not touch 50,000.
Okay.
Okay, if it touches 50,000, taxable.
Okay.
Full amount.
Okay.
Movable property. If you're
Hmm.
receiving any movable property without consideration and the fair market value, the market value of that property, movable thing exceeds 50,000, then full value is taxable.
Okay.
Exclude what? Watch, mobile phone.
Watch and mobile. Huh.
Okay, without consideration, this is. Fair market
Okay.
value should not exceed 50,000. If you receive
Hmm.
such movable property with inadequate consideration, that means something of 100,000, you're receiving it for 100.
Hmm.
Okay, say for example, the
Hmm.
fair market value is 70,000 and you paid only 10,000.
Hmm.
So inadequate consideration is how much? 60,000.
10.
The fair market value was 70,000.
Hmm.
You paid 10,000.
Hmm.
Inadequate consideration is how much?
60,000.
Okay. So this amount exceeds 50,000.
Yes.
So the full inadequate consideration is taxable.
Okay.
Listen, full inadequate consideration is taxable.
Hmm.
And if you're receiving any immovable property without consideration,
Hmm.
and when you go to register it, the stamp duty per transaction exceeds 50,000, then the full amount of the stamp duty is taxable. Stamp duty is what value as per the municipality record. Now, if you receive anything which is 50,000, above 50,000, full 50,000 will be charged to tax. Correct?
Hmm.
Gift. But there are some cases wherein we say that this is not treated as a gift.
Hmm.
Okay, that means there are some cases where if you receive something above 50,000, it will not be taxable, but it will be exempt.
Miss, can you stop your screen and
So there is some portion, there is something if you receive without consideration or without adequate consideration or with inadequate consideration will not
hmm.
be taxable. It will be exempt if it is trim company.
Okay.
What is trim company? Okay, if you receive more than 50,000 as a transaction but not as a transfer, that means there is something that has happened between you and some other person, and a transaction has happened, and it is not a transfer. Then, even if it is above 50,000, it will not be considered as a. So, I was telling that certain things are not treated as gifts, okay, and they are exempted. The first one is it would be trim company. The shortcut to remember this, it should be a transaction, not a transfer. Means there are certain transfers, okay, certain
Hmm.
transfers which happens between the holding company and the subsidiary companies.
Okay.
Okay, so these transactions happen, so will not be considered as transfers, they will be considered as just transaction going from one pocket to another.
Okay.
Okay, so even if that is above 50,000, it will not be treated as a gift.
All right.
If money is going from one person to other person above 50,000 without any consideration or with inadequate consideration, we say it should be charged to tax under the heading IFOS. Am I correct?
Yes.
But if it is a transaction that is happening between holding and subsidiary companies, or if it is an amalgamation that is happening, so in that case, we say that this is transaction. This is no transfer of money from one person to other, so it will be exempt from tax. Okay?
Hmm.
Gift that you have received, any money movable property or immovable property that you have received from your relative. Relative, that means
Blood related.
blood relative. So, mother, brother, sister, your mother and your father, your mom and dad,
Hmm.
mom and dad of your mom and dad, they are all relative.
Hmm.
Your mom's
Hmm.
brother, your mom's sister, your relative.
Hmm.
Your dad's brother, your dad's sister, your relative.
Okay.
Your mom's brother's wife, your relative.
Hmm.
Your dad's sister's husband, your relative. So, for an individual,
Hmm.
the relative means your spouse, your own brother and sister,
Hmm.
your own brother and sister's spouse,
Okay.
your parents,
Hmm.
your brothers and sisters of your parent,
Hmm.
your parents' brothers and sisters' spouse,
Okay.
mother and father of your parents.
Hmm.
That means your mother's mother and father, your father's mother and father. So these all are considered as relative and the spouses of all those people also. And if from
Hmm.
them you receive any money, exempt. So see your mother,
Hmm.
father, mom, dad.
Hmm.
Mom ke mom, dad, dad ke mom, dad.
Hmm.
Mom's brother, sister, and their spouses.
Hmm.
Dad's brother, sister, and their spouses.
Okay.
Okay? Your own brother and sister and their spouses.
Hmm.
And your own spouse.
Okay.
Okay? So they all are
Hmm.
considered as your relative.
Hmm.
So if you receive from them, so it is exempt. Inheritance.
Hmm.
If you receive any money out of inheritance or out of will, exempt. If you are
Okay.
getting married, they say you don't get married very often. So on the occasion of your marriage, if you're receiving gifts above 50,000, exempt.
Okay.
Movable, immovable, anything. But please note it should be marriage, not your marriage anniversary. So if you
Okay.
want the people if you want to declare a lot of income and you don't want to pay tax, get married.
Hmm.
And on contemplation of death. On contemplation of death, that means you received a property from someone.
Hmm.
Someone is called a donor, and the donor expected that he is going to die. And he
Okay.
transferred the property to you. He died or did not die is another thing, but he contemplated that he is going to die and he transferred the property to you. So, on contemplation of death, you've received that property exempt. Please take a minute to see something above 50,000 you've received and still not chargeable to tax. It is exempt if it is trim company. I'm giving you
Hmm.
time to digest it. Share premium received in excess of the fair market value. See, you're an
Hmm.
unlisted company and a resident
Okay.
shareholder is buying your shares. You're an unlisted company or somebody is buying your shares and he's paying you for your shares above the market value. In this case, we say that you have issued the shares at premium
Okay.
In this case, anything that you receive above the market value is taxable under IFOS. So these are the four conditions that should be fulfilled. It should be an unlisted company. The resident is buying your share. You are receiving the money above the face value. You are issuing the shares at a premium. So if the above four conditions are fulfilled, whatever extra amount your company receive will be treated as IFOS. Okay. Say your issue price is 12 and the market value of the shares is 10. So what is the extra amount that you've received? 2. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
This 2 will be income from other sources.
Hmm.
Okay. But if the shares are issued at a discount,
Hmm.
this concept is not applicable. This
Okay.
concept is applicable only if you issue shares at a premium.
Premium.
Are you with me?
Hmm.
You will compare the market value with your issue price, not the fair value with the issue price. Sorry, you're
Okay.
going to compare the fair value with the issue price, not the market value with the issue price.
Hmm.
Are you with me?
Hmm.
Now, family pension. What is family pension?
The
After the
pension.
employee is retiring, okay?
Hmm. Hmm.
After the employee retires, the employee pays a regular amount to the employee every month.
Hmm.
And this amount is called pension.
Yes.
And this pension is taxable under the head of salary.
Hmm.
But after this employee dies, this was a salary
Hmm.
for the employee, right?
Yes.
But after this employee dies, and this pension is given to the family member.
Hmm.
So that is called family pension.
And it is taxable under IFRS.
And it is taxable under IFOS. But if you're getting some family pension, some deduction is allowed under Section 57.
Okay.
For family pension, you get some deduction under Section 57, and it is 1/3 of the pension of 15,000, whichever is lower.
Okay.
Okay. Income
Hmm.
from other sources is covered under Section 56. Deductions is under Section 57. And
Hmm.
Section 58 tells you what is not allowed as deductions.
Hmm.
Okay, fine. Take this example, please read the example.
Mrs. X has received a family pension of 5,000 per month. In this case, taxable amount shall be
How much has he received?
5,000 per month. So 60,000
Deduction would be
per
under
annum.
section.
57.
What is the deduction?
1/3 of pension of 15,000, whichever is lower.
So what is lower? 15,000.
15,000.
So the 15,000 will be deduction under section 57 and 45,000 will be taxable.
Done.
Okay. Now we were talking about enhanced compensation.
जी.
Okay. Enhanced compensation is if any land or building is acquired by the government. Okay.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
there is a delay in the payment of the compensation.
Hmm.
And the assessee receives interest on the compensation.
Hmm. It is
Okay.
taxable.
So he receives this interest under section 145A.
Hmm.
So such interest is taxable under section 145B in the year in which it is received.
Okay.
Please note, if the government has acquired any land and building
Hmm.
and he has given compensation and there is a delay in the payment of compensation, so and the assessee receives interest as per section 145A.
Hmm.
So this interest is taxable under section 145B in the year in which it is received. This is very important. But section 57 gives flat 50% deduction and no other expense allowed.
Okay.
Are you with me?
Hmm.
As per section 56, royalty, director's fees, article income, exam remuneration. This is also income from other sources.
Okay.
Whatever income you receive minus expenses, that will be allowed on actual basis.
Hmm.
With me?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I wanted to read this example and try it yourself. I will wait for you.
Hmm.
So income from other sources is section 57. Section 57 tells us what will be the income from other sources. Are you with me? Sorry, section
Yeah.
56 tells us. Section 57 tells us what will be allowed as deduction, and up till now
Did.
we have done two deductions. Interest on compensation 50%
Mm-hmm.
or enhanced compensation, and the other one was for family pension one third or
Month of
50,000,
pension of 15.
whichever is lower.
That was lower.
Section 58 tells that even though we are going to charge tax on certain income from other sources, but to earn that income, whatever expenses you are done, we will not allow you to deduct. Specifically telling that normally, whenever any income we earn, we are allowed to remove the expenses, correct? As example.
Hmm.
But section 58 is telling that certain things are particularly disallowed. That even if you have incurred those expenses, we are not going to allow you to minus it from the income. So they are telling that the assessee will not be allowed to deduct any personal expenses while computing IFOS.
Hmm.
Okay? Assessee will not be allowed to deduct any expenditure, deductions, or allowances while computing casual income. What was casual income?
Lottery, race, card games,
So
puzzles.
whatever you have won for lottery, uh, puzzles, race, gambling, okay, everything that you earn, the full gross receipt will be considered as income, and flat rate of how much percent will be there? 30,
50%.
30%
30%.
will be
Hmm.
taxable. Okay,
Hmm.
and you are not allowed to deduct any expenditure. So if
Hmm.
you've taken any lottery ticket, or you have paid to buy the horse, or you have purchased some initial amount while gambling, so all
Hmm.
these expenses are not allowed as a deduction.
Okay.
Okay?
Hmm.
Then it says,
And
if you are paying any interest, or you are paying any salary,
hmm.
or you're paying any commission, or you're paying any brokerage
Hmm.
to a relative, your mother, father, their mother, father, their spouses, their brother, sister, their spouses, your
Hmm.
brother, sister, their spouses, okay, which is unreasonable, then that unreasonable amount is not allowed to be deducted.
Okay.
Okay. Any agricultural income outside India, fully taxable.
Hmm.
Okay. Then they are saying that if you're making any cash payments, what you're making? Any cash
Cash
payments
payments.
over 10,000. Over 10,000 in one day to one
Gee.
person.
Hmm.
We will not allow you to treat it as expense, and it will be IFOS.
Hmm.
Okay?
Hmm.
So these are disallowed income. They will ask you how much is disallowed. Are you with me?
Yes.
Income from non-agricultural land in India, fully taxable. These will come in some thing that is it taxable, not taxable. Salary of an MP or an MLA is also fully taxable. If you have some
Serious.
undisclosed sources, that will be
Hmm.
taxable under IFOS. So what all comes under
What?
IFOS? Agricultural income outside India.
Outside India taxes.
This all
Income
comes
from
under IFOS, and no expenses allowed to be deducted.
Okay. Income from non-agricultural land in India, salary of MP or MLA, income from undisclosed sources.
Undisclosed sources. Any award from government, if you're receiving any award from government, then it is fully exempt under section 1013, 1017A.
And any personal like private कोई कॉलेज हो या स्कूल हो या हॉस्पिटल हो then
From the government, if you're receiving award, exempt.
okay.
Okay. Now, dividend income.
Hmm.
Okay. If you're receiving any dividend income, then you have some deduction that is allowed.
डिविडेंड अब भी ऊपर किए ना हम लोग ने
Sorry. Dividend, 1 minute, wait. Huh? Now we are talking about allowable deductions. Okay.
hmm.
So first we said dividend is taxable, right?
Yes.
Okay. So dividend income is taxable whether you want the dividend from foreign company or domestic company. Full dividend income is taxable. But
Hmm.
you can claim deductions for interest expense. That means if to earn that dividend, if you have paid any interest, that means if to earn that dividend, you have bought shares on loan and you are paying interest.
Hmm.
Okay. See, you buy shares of a company and in return you're going
Hmm.
to receive dividend.
Yeah.
See, suppose to buy these shares, you've taken a loan.
Hmm.
You are paying the interest to earn the dividend.
Hmm. Hmm.
So in this case, the amount of deduction would be interest expense or 20% of the dividend income, whichever is lower.
Hmm.
Deduction under section 57 for dividend income.
Hmm.
If you're earning dividend from a domestic or foreign company, then this is chargeable to tax under IFOS. But you can claim deduction for interest expense that you have incurred to earn this dividend. So, what is the
Okay.
deduction? Interest expense or 20% of dividend income, whichever is lower. I'll give you one example. Take one example over here.
Hmm.
Your dividend is 10,000.
Hmm.
You took loan to buy the shares. You took loan to buy shares and you are paying interest on that. So interest on
Hmm.
loan to buy the shares is 3,000.
Hmm.
So what is the deduction that you would be allowed under section 57?
Either 3,000
Interest, that is 3,000, or
or
20% of the
20%,
dividend, that is
10,000,
20% of 10,000, that is 2,000,
2,000.
whichever is lower.
Hmm.
So 2,000 will be allowed as deduction.
Hmm.
If you're receiving any money for letting out plant and machinery, furniture and building, so the
Hmm.
money that you receive will be charged to tax under which source?
IFOS.
IFOS, if not PGGP.
Hmm.
Okay, PGBP. Profits and
Hmm.
gains from business and profession. From this, what is the deduction that is allowed? The repairs of the building, insurance
Hmm.
premium, depreciation, repairs of the furniture or machinery.
Oh,
Okay, are you with me?
yes.
Repairs of building also allowed as deduction. Repairs of furniture or machinery also allowed as deduction. Insurance
Hmm.
premium and depreciation. Family
Hmm.
pension. If you're receiving pension on behalf of the employee, the family that is receiving the pension on behalf of the
The
died
deceased.
employee, deceased employee, what is the deduction allowed under section 57?
15,000 or one third of the pension, whichever is lower.
Okay. Enhanced compensation, how much deduction allowed?
50%.
Okay. Any other expense that you do which is not capital in nature? Okay.
Fully.
Okay. But that is necessary to earn the income under IFOS. Say you've
Hmm.
taken a bike on rent to go to collect
Hmm.
your interest,
Hmm.
or you've taken a bike on rent to go to collect your dividend. So that expense is allowed
Okay.
as deduction. What is
Hmm.
what is not allowed as deduction?
Capital expense.
Capital expense, any expense for earning casual income not allowed. So expense
Uh-huh.
that is not allowed is personal expense, salary that you're paying outside India without cutting tax on source, payment above 10,000 in cash in one day to one person not allowed. But
Okay.
if you pay by check, allowed. Repairs and
Okay.
maintenance allowed up till 12,000. No deduction against casual income. So this is all that you need to know for income from other sources.